Good morning, children. Let us now next begin the next chapter, the muscular system and digestive system in human beings. Now let's recall what is meant by organ system. Now the different organs together form the organ systems. Examples of organ systems are digestive system, circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system. These are all those examples of the organ systems. Now, the group of organs performing some life process or the function forms the organ system. For example, respiratory system performs respiration, digestive system performs digestion, circulatory system performs circulation. That way. So, this chapter we will be learning two organ systems, muscular system and digestive system. Now, second question is, how are the bones in our body joined to each other? The bones in our body are joined to each other by tendons. Now, let us first see about the muscular system. Close your fist tightly and bend your arm at the elbow. Now, feel the upper part of the arm with the fingers of your hand. What did you experience? Did you feel the hardness in the upper arm? So this fleshy part consists of muscle. Muscles contract and relax as different parts of our body move. Muscles give our body a specific shape and posture. Muscles are muscles are the bundles of fiber that can contract and relax as required. Now, this you must have or most of you must have tried this, and now also you can try. You bend the hand along the elbow and you can see the hardness in the upper arm. So that is due to the muscles which are present in the upper arm. Now the next question is, what is the mutual relationship between the muscles and bones? Muscles are firmly attached by bones by means of tendons. When muscles contract, there is a movement at the joint and the bones move either nearer to or away from each other. Now the action of muscles is necessary for all kind of movements, from small movements of eyelids to those that demand great strength when chopping wood with an axe. We use muscles for various movements like talking, laughing, walking, jumping, throwing, etc. So here, whenever there is a relaxation of the muscles, the movement is not there. Contraction of the muscles is there, then movement is there. So the contraction and relaxation of the muscles helps in the movement. So even for the action of the muscles, it is necessary for all kinds of movements. Even the eyelids movement, it is due to the muscles. Now the next question is, which parts of our body are made up only of muscles? Tongue, heart, liver, stomach, pancreas, intestine. These are the organs which are made up only of muscles. There are no bones in it. Now the next thing is, do you know there are more than 600 muscles in the body? Muscles contribute almost 40% of the weight of the healthy adult human being. There are about 30 muscles in the human face. Can you believe this? 30 muscles are there in the human face, and that's why so many expressions we can make because of the movement of those muscles on the face. Our eyes, mouth and nose are encircled by small muscles. Expressions like happiness, sadness, fear, they are expressed by the movement of the muscles of the face. Now the next question is, are the muscles of the different organs in our bones identical? No. These muscles, they are also of the different types. There are two types of muscles, voluntary muscles and the involuntary muscles. So let us first see about the voluntary muscles. Now, working with the hands, walking, eating, etc. are functions that depend upon our will. Muscles used in these actions are called voluntary muscles. For example, muscles in our arms and legs are the voluntary muscles. Their movements are controlled by us. We can stop the movement of the hands and the legs as and when we wish. So, such muscles of the arms and legs are voluntary muscles. Now, the various processes like breathing, blood circulation, digestion are vital function. That is, they are essential for the life. They do not depend upon our will. The muscles of the organs which carry out these involuntary functions are called involuntary muscles. Functions of organs like stomach, intestine, heart are carried out in their own fixed manner by involuntary muscles. So, which organs in our body have voluntary muscles and which ones have involuntary muscles? Arms and the legs have the voluntary muscles, whereas stomach, heart, eyelids, they have the involuntary muscles. Now, next we will see the types of the muscles. There are three types of muscles: skeletal muscles, heart or the cardiac muscles, and the smooth muscles. In skeletal muscles, the two ends of each of these muscles are attached to two different bones. Examples of such muscles are muscles of the arms and legs. Their movements are voluntary. They are also responsible for holding the bones of the skeleton together and giving shape to our body. Then, heart or the cardiac muscles. These muscles bring about the contraction and relaxation, that is the beating of the heart. The heart beats continuously. Their movement is involuntary. Cardiac muscles cause our heart to relax and contract continuously at the rate of 70 times per minute. So, continuously this function goes on. Then, smooth muscles. These muscles are present in the internal organs other than the heart. For example, muscles of the stomach, intestine, blood vessels, uterus, etc. Their movements are involuntary and slow. So, various vital functions of our body, of which we remain quite unaware, are carried out by these special muscles. Now, the next question is, how do muscles perform their functions? Now, muscles in our body always work in group. When some muscles contract, the other muscles of the same group relax. This is how muscles helps in proper performance of the various functions of our body. Then hold your arm straight at the elbow, that is 180 degree, without closing your fist. Bend the arm at the elbow through 90. Touch the shoulder with your finger on the same side. Muscles of which arm contracted and relaxed during this above three actions. So we see that the muscles of the upper arm, it moves. Now, muscles in our body always work in groups. When some muscles contract, the other muscles of the same group relax. This is how the muscles help in proper performance of the various functions of the body. Now, muscles on the front bone in the upper arm is called as the bicep. Muscle at the back are called as the triceps. So now, next question is here. Now see here, look at this figure. So what we see here, the chest muscles are there. These muscles are called as deltoid. Then abdominal muscles are there. Biceps, the muscles in the front side, they are called as the biceps. The muscles on the back side of the arm, they are called as the triceps. Then flexors, this is the name of this muscle is flexor. And then quadriceps, these are the muscles which are on the front side of the thigh. And then flexors, here the calf muscles, they are called as the flexors. So this way, like this here, around 600 muscles, types of muscles are there in our body. Now the next question is, what would happen if the cardiac muscles do not move? If the cardiac muscles will not move, the heart would not beat. Now, food enters the stomach and the stomach muscles do not move. Then the churning of the food will not be there and the food would not be digested. So, always remember, muscles of our body must be strong and efficient. Our diet must include proteins and carbohydrates in sufficient quantity for the proper growth and repair of muscles. We must get regular exercise. It makes the muscles strong. We must sit in a straight back and not with a back hunched or bent. Otherwise, gradually changes occur in the structure of the vertebrae. Muscles in the shoulder and the back begin to hurt. Disorders of the vertebral column may also arise. So during exercise, movement of the heart muscles become more rapid. Breathing too become more faster, ensuring a sufficient supply of oxygen and nutrients to the various parts of the body. So it is necessary that we all must exercise. Now, the study of the muscles is called as the myology, and contraction is the basic property of the muscle. The largest muscle of our body is in the thigh, and the smallest is attached to the bone in the ear called steps.